to deal with, and then move, of course, on the Queen of Pain with your Sonic Wave. So this, I feel like, is a really solid draft for EG. They can definitely secure some objectives, including not only towers, but like you mentioned, Roshan as well. But it's a very, very team fight. Let me run at you kind of oriented lineup for NEWBEE. So if they lose a couple of heroes, NEWBEE could kind of just deathball and snowball out of control and just push down the lanes and essentially really punish EG. So jumping into the game, let's get in some introductions here. We have Evil Geniuses on the Dire team. Universe, Sahil O'Neal will be playing the Tidehunter. Zai will be on that Wraith King. Support, of course, has got a smoke up as well. Mason's got to be on the Brewmaster this time around. Arteezy got to be on the Razor, going for a Wraith Band and one Tango. And PPD will round out the lineup with, of course, Shadow Shaman.
And starting things off for your Radiant side once again, it's going to be Team NEWBEE. And as they try to avert an early aggressive movement coming out from EG, it's going to be Banana just nearby on that Sand King. Also forwarding out the bottom lane, it is Hao on that Bristleback, as well as Sansheng playing your Skywrath Mage. Rounding out the mid lane, we got Moo playing none other than the Queen of Pain. And finally, in your off lane Doom, we got the Director, Zhao Wei.
Yep, so right now, I mean, it really comes down to teams punishing their offlaners here. Universe, known to just be able to survive in the offlane. He did, I think, give away one of the kills early on last game.
Yeah, it's hard. Cannot do the caster jinx.
We already did it, man.
But
it's
I gotta
done.
say, well, since we already did it, I mean, I said it before, but for anyone tuning in who hasn't seen EG as of yet, Universe did come into TI with the lowest average kills in all of 6.81 of all the teams, only 2.7. This guy in the off lanes, in a lane that's very, very hard to just hold in your own lane. You're going against constant aggressive tries and duo lanes or what have you. He just does not seem to be taken down. But just as I say that, hopefully he doesn't give over first blood.
Yeah, I mean, right now he's got boots first. He's going to go for an Anchor Smash, and Bristleback isn't necessarily the best hero for killing at level 1, maybe like level 3 or 4. It can start really just stacking up those Quill Sprays and kill you very quickly. Sansheng has nuke potential. It's only 60 base damage at its first level. Universe might get zoned out here rather quickly. In fact, they're throwing up the Viscous Nasal Glue as well, so they're just going to look forward to right-clicking him down. Universe already getting zoned out very heavily. Look at that damage coming through. The armor reduction is very real.
Oh, yeah.
And they have 0 armor now when you get that Viscous Nasal Glue stacked up 3 times. So Universe has to already eat a Tango, and he's been zoned out extraordinarily hard and a lot of pressure. But as we say that, we see Zhao Wei. He'll be in the jungle. He might even get zoned out as well, but he's already starting out with his power. You can stack up some creep camps here for Universe. He can Anchor Smash and take those down and get some levels, but it's going to be difficult for him to do so. So really, I think right now they laid this very well for NEWBEE, and I like the choice for how to go for that early Viscous Nasal Goo.
Universe should be fine here. He just needs to build up a little bit of extra gold and get a hold of that magic wand. I mean, that's just kind of a go-to thing when you're going up against that Bristleback. I'm always a big fan of Bristlebacks who do level up that goo early. I personally love to go for it. The slow, the minus armor just works so nicely on chasing down anyone, especially a big bad melee guy like the Tidehunter, so that'd definitely be nice to have. As far as middle contention goes, 2 big boys in the mid lane right here. Moo going against Arteezy. Moo at 4-1, Arteezy 7-3, so nice early start for here as far as CS for Arteezy.
Yeah, and this is going to be, I mean, if Moo doesn't have a blink, Arteezy's going to static link, and Moo is just going to lose all his damage. And Arteezy, even without that damage, still is probably going to lead the CS at least for a bit here. And Moo, again, going to get static link, lose only 7 damage. It's not a big deal, but Zhao Wei has the rune control. He's got to pick up a haste rune. Radiant team looking for maybe some early aggression. Zai's going to find him out, but Zhao Wei, look at that damage from the Pack Leader Zora. Zai taking a lot of damage. Hopefully this isn't first blood for EG. What an anticlimactic way to handle it, but now the Wraithfire Blast is going to go. Zai will eat a tree. Zhao Wei's still chasing, but not going to go down. Zai decides to back away and says, thank God. He almost actually went down to the neutral as well. Goodness. Zai, my God, man. Be careful, dude.
Definitely have to be cautious about that one, but they do avoid the danger early on. And we saw it last game with ROTK on the Doom. You know, it's okay to forfeit your lane. You can step over and just kind of farm up, and he's doing so aggressively in the opposing jungle, finding what he needs from there on. But this does once again allow Mason to build up that early bit of farm on the Brew, and Brew loves to get that early farm, get a hold of that early Blink Dagger, move on from there to the Agnums, and then he becomes a
Universe bottom lane getting dove. This could be your first, but he's going to gush. He has Tanker Smash in a second, but will go down. How? The tower, one more right click will do the job, and it does. It actually brings him down. Universe at least getting something out of that. They did give up the first blood. I believe that was too how. In fact, it was, but still.
I'm never going to do it again, Mott. That caster curse is very much real. That is the second time I call out his low death and he feds over first blood.
I mean, he's... Well, it happens. But that was really aggressive coming out from NEWBEE, but it actually works out for them. Although they do lose Hao. He's not farming. They get some experience for Banana as well as Sansheng. Immediate smoke of the Sea Gang from EG. They're looking to try to catch out Moo here. He's sitting very close to the right side of the lane. The Wraithfire Blast might go, but Moo sees it immediately. They can't pick up the kill. Just too far to the right here. Really nicely played from Moo, realizing that they're not in that top lane anymore. They're not pulling. So they don't pick up the kill, and Moo stays alive.
I mean, had they got a hold of her, yeah, they had a formidable amount of lockdown to be able to take her, but that's a big thing to ask for when you're going against the Queen of Pain. You know, much like a Puck, it's just really hard to try to rotate over and gank them in the mid lane, but let's see how long they're going to really wait it out. PPD waiting up for that 4-minute rune at the top. It is going to be a rune at the bottom lane, unfortunately. It will be an invis, and it looks like Universe already converging over, but Banana looking to make the split over. Can he get it to it first? But nope, Universe will snag it up for himself, promptly so. No desperate burrow strike to try to have at it, but they do trade a bit of wards here on the bottom lane, and Universe steps back.
So, Universe picking up the rune. Now he can leech experience a bit more safely, and they have no sentries. They just dewarded the camps here so that Banana can actually stack and be somewhat useful here. He's got a huge stack as well, so Banana is on his way to having a very early Blink Dagger. They're not really shutting him down, and that's a kind of a problem because you look at PPD and Zai. They're sitting at 2, 3 respectively. They don't have that much farm. Zai with an early Blink Dagger could be huge, but he's nowhere near it, obviously, and won't be near it for quite some time. However, Mason, boots and 1,400 gold, he's going to have his Blink at maybe 7 some odd minutes. So if he can be aggressive with that level 6 Primal Split and try to find kills across the map, they can be in a good position. Xiao 8, what's he sitting at? Level 3, not doing too poorly. And in terms of the offlane battle, Universe is sitting at level 5, so he's getting a lot more experience. CS-wise, it is going to be Xiao 8 leading, but still, some of that is jungle experience and last hit, so not that great for the offlaner for NEWBEE. So that's one thing that is going EG's way, is that offlane Universe is having a pretty great time. In fact, he can even stack these Ancients and might do so. He might just try to take these down on his own.
Yeah. Speaking of stacks, you know, NEWBEE's as supports have been doing a great job doing their own stacks here in the jungle. This allows Soundshang to move on over with the help of that Sandstorm, build up the extra gold, get that Blink Dagger like we see every time with the Sand King, and then be the heavy initiator for his team and just hopefully build up a little bit extra momentum for them. Now, as far as CS goes, obviously we talked about Mason being on the top, but right there, neck and neck, it's going to be Arteezy and the Bristleback. So Arteezy still doing formidable work here in the mid lane, 26 CS compared to Quap's 24, so Moo did catch up a little bit right there. But, you know, imagine this Moo, the build-up now being level 6. Let's see how long he decides to park it here, but Moo, in his typical aggressive nature, I wouldn't be surprised if he ventures elsewhere and tries to take advantage of that screen.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, he could use a Treads or at least just some other item rather than just having a Null Talisman, especially with a Rune. Rune control is really important for Queen of Pain of Roman to try to be aggressive, but oh, this is maybe not the best idea. Arteezy was actually going for the static link. Banana was nearby to help out. I was surprised they didn't try to go on Arteezy. Instead, they back off. Banana will make his way to the top lane with 1,000 gold to bank, and if they try to defend this and do it well enough, they could easily get some gold for Banana to get closer to that Blink Dagger. But the problem is Mason now has a Blink Dagger and level 6 and Primal Split. Universe took a lot of damage in that bottom lane. He's not quite at his Ravage just yet, but he's getting very close. How's level 6? He's got Warpath now. So essentially, you have what you want as a Bristleback, and you can start running at people. Smoke of Deceit gank coming in mid for NEWBEE. They're looking for potential pickoff on Arteezy. He's been Shadow Striked already, but got to be careful. He's got some stick charges here. No real way to get out of any potential danger. There should be some TP scrolls up with the supports of EG. Not on Zai. What about PPD? It's like, no, they're chasing. Meanwhile, Xiao 8 in that top lane. Rotations are coming over, but there's going to be the Thunderclap. Now the Scorched Earth still, he's got plenty of health left, but the Ether Shock should get the kill and will for PPD. Now they're converging on Universe, who is in here in this middle lane right now. They will spot out Banana as well as Sansheng, but they're not going to make a go. They're still just sitting mid, so a big pickup for EG. They make the supports of NEWBEE waste a lot of time, and they get a kill on Xiao 8 as well. But Universe was just kind of sitting in that defense too. So
Xiao 8 has had a bit of a rough time here in the top lane, obviously having to get tested with Mason and his support allies nearby, and unfortunately does hand himself over. So both offlaners just respectively doing fairly about the same. Universe getting very close to that level 6, which I'm sure he's very eagerly going for here in the bottom lane. Should have it momentarily. We'll see if they're going to go for it. But mid lane, they finally get to go on Arteezy. They stun him out, blast him out with the Scream. Moo takes him down in the end, and Arteezy does end up falling. They even it up now 2-2.
yeah, so scores even. Universe, like you talked about to hit that level 6, rotating over. Zai's like, I'm just going to take this mid lane experience while Arteezy's dead. Finally, I can get something going for myself. I'm waiting to see how long Mason decides to be defensive before he decides to start jumping in and looking for potential engagements. He's sitting on his Blink Dagger, his boots, and something is flying out to him as well, I believe. So when you have this early Brewmaster ultimate, especially when there's no Doom, I feel like you should start being aggressive with it. The problem is, where are they going to find the opening? It's going to be difficult. They can try to push down towers, but they don't have Serpent Wards yet for PBD. That's something that they really need to try and get. And with him pulling, he'll get some experience through that, but Level 6 is still a ways away. Universe has the Ravage as well. What about Xiaowei? Does he have level 6 yet? No, not quite, but getting closer and closer. So Doom might be able to be up online in just a second.
Yeah, and if they don't make a jump or anything on Xiaowei waits out and does get that Doom. I would be surprised if NEWBEE call in the reinforcements here in the top lane and try to finally take down Mason with the benefit of that Doom. So, you know, we'll see. It's just going to be a matter of time while they wait it out here. And you see Zai accompanying Universe here in the bottom lane. They got a Ravage, so why don't we try to make something happen for ourselves? They go ahead, use the purple stuff, and smoke it up. They're going to go ahead and move down the bottom lane here. And Hal, all by his lonesome in the meantime. Let's see if they try to make the jump.
Yeah, they might even go on Sansheng in the jungle. He's there to help out. Blink, there's going to be the collab coming in with, of course, the split, followed by the Gush, Wraith Fire Blast. House taking a bit of damage here, getting kind of low. The Quill Spray's doing work on Universe. Still, House sticks up and is alive. The Ravage, they have to spend it for the kill. Zai getting lower and lower. All of that physical damage. The Brewmaster ultimate doing work. Meanwhile, the Scream getting a kill. Mason, he's got to blink away. Banana misses a stun just narrowly. A lot used for that kill, and that is just typical frickin' Bristleback, just so difficult to deal with.
I mean, in the end, it is one support for the safe lane farmers, so it still works out for EG, but they were really hoping to be able to take them down without using the Ravage too early. But yeah, you can never underestimate how much tankiness is there for Bristleback. And it was very tricky for them to try to get around and move to the front and try to hit him right in the face. So, you know, unfortunately, a bit of a miscall there from EG. They would have loved to save up those ultimates, but sometimes you're just going to have to put them out there, get the job done quickly so you can step back and not lose any casualties.
House being even more annoying in this mid lane. He's going to use that Viscous Dance move. Mason's getting chased down here. He actually might die to this. There's going to be the Thunderclap going through, but Mason should fall and will. Meanwhile, on the backside, Universe is going to come in. How? Now going to take Universe down. He's got no Ravage. Maybe not. On the backside, I believe. No, there was no other kills there. I thought there might have been some action happening, but Arteezy looks like he picked up an Invis Rune. So How gets an easy kill on Mason, just feeding himself away in that mid lane. Interesting decision there.
Intriguing play, and this allows How to get right back into it after losing that death there on the bottom lane. So something you don't really want for. So now EG slowly step behind, 4 for 3. We'll take a very early look at the gold graph, but you could tell NEWBEE, they are getting a bit of a benefit here in the early laning phase, going about 1k gold lead for them thus far. But EG, they're going to look to try to bring it back to him. They might have to wait until they do have that Ravage and everything available online. Universe taking advantage of his own jungle, trying to side farm it up a bit. There's a couple of stacks there to work for him, but 700 towards the precious Blink Dagger, I'm sure he would love to get a hold of.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's their next big target, really, is just Universe getting the Blink online and ready to go. Neck is going to be the choice, I believe, for Arteezy. At least it should be. He doesn't really have anything. He's just got Treads. Arteezy, with decent farm, not really getting much in this game right now. Speaking of mech, Xiaowei almost has his. He's got the buckler, pretty much has the headdress, just needs the recipe now to complete that up. Wards are flying out to PBD, who's actually very close to level 6, so level 11, and he'll have level 6 when the Circle Wars come online. They'll probably start being a bit more aggressive, but there is the Blink Dagger at 11 minutes for Banana, really nicely timed, down bottom. Some aggression coming in again from How in this bottom lane. He's just kind of throwing his body at this tier 1 tower, doing some damage, but Mason has to be careful yet again, as we saw what's happened previously when he goes head-to-head against How alone.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Banana got his Blink Dagger, but that's all he's got. I mean, he just kind of just went straight for the Blink Dagger, and all he has is Brown Boots with it as well. So 1 Burrow Strike, 1 Epi. Hopefully it's going to be enough to work in this potential team fight to come. They're going to go ahead and pull out the smoke. Moo going to be one to lead the way. Arteezy looks to be the target. They jump in, Burrow Strike. They catch him out, fall up with a Scream, and the whole kit and caboodle blast him out with the Scream as well, and they know how to use an ult early, and they get the objective done. Arteezy falls. Zai shows up, but his Majesty is just a little too late.
Yeah, and so they're just thinking right now, it's like, well, there's a Blink Dagger on Sand King now, so we have to deal with that as well. So a bit frustrating if you're EG. You just kind of lose your mid here yet again. Arteezy gets blown up. It is pretty much the same thing as what happened earlier. So Mason's playing kind of passively as well against How, who has his Vanguard. There's a lot of potential tankiness coming out from the Bristleback, and I don't know what you do. You have level 6 for PBD, but do you throw your supports down? Do you try to jump into the Roche Pit? If you do that, I mean, you kind of have to be careful. They could rotate over. They can easily contest it. Top lane, Xiaowei's pushing into that tier 1 tower. It looks like they have a firm grasp over this game right now. Despite Mason getting that early Blink Dagger, they've gotten 1 kill out of it, and that required a lot to get that kill as well. So.
Yep, and you know, just like you said, it is time to potentially do Roche. With the benefit of that Vamp aura there and these wards, it shouldn't take too much to do it. It looks like maybe even this support dynamic duo might try to do it just themselves, shackling up the Roche right there and trying to get it done. They see that there are no visible wards there nearby for NEWBEE, so they are not catching on to this one just yet. House still parked there at the bottom lane, but there's a bit of a ping right there. Moo, and they call everyone else over. So this is something EG definitely needed to kind of get the momentum back in their favor, because before this, it was a little rough for them in this early laning phase.
Absolutely. I mean, but that's what I like to see from PPD. Like, once you get those level 6, use your chip rewards. Don't just sit around and let nothing happen. Arteezy gets the Aegis. That'll give them a bit more farm experience and gold. NEWBEE are going to try to make something happen mid. They realize they don't have the chip rewards. Side's kind of low. They don't know that necessarily. Move blinks away. The problem is going to be locking down this Queen of Pain, who already has one Oblivion Staff. Organs are going to be coming out soon. They have a Doom already for Xiaowei, and his mech is done. So, I mean, the gold graph is 2,000 in favor of NEWBEE. It doesn't seem like a lot, but at 13 minutes, it's pretty significant. So NEWBEE, all they need to do is kind of be aggressive. They can continue to farm Moo. How's pretty much got what he needs. He bought another item. I think it's an Ogre Club. Yeah, and it is. It looks like it's going to be the start of a BKB, potentially a Halberd. So this is a lot of farm already for this Bristleback as well.
Arteezy snags up an Illusion Rune there at the top lane and rotates all the way over to the top. I would imagine, based on, track history, that EG, they're going to probably want to wait it out for Sahil to build up that Blink Dagger on his Tide Hunter before they try to make an initiation in their own right. But, well, just as I say that, they're kind of converging here at the top lane. There's the jump slam having on Sanching. Banana quickly burrow strikes to the low ground, but it's not going to be the same for the Birdman, as he does get taken down. Here comes the TP rotation, but I think EG are going to do the smart thing here, swiftly pull back and just kind of take that as a win.
Yeah, I mean, they'll take that fight. They only get Sancheng, but they at least force out a couple of TPs, including Hao, and they make sure that they back everybody up. But Moo is just farming mid. He's actually putting a lot of pressure on this tier 1 tower. Coming through, Universe is here. He's got 1,700 gold in the bank. Still no Blink Dagger. He's getting closer and closer, but coming in is Arteezy. Moo, they're going to force out a Blink. He blinks further away. They might even just dive this. He's got no more potential Blink for another 3 seconds, but Arteezy not able to get the kill. Just forces him all the way back. Universe and Arteezy should both have TPs. Arteezy does not actually, so he'll just try to put some damage on this tier 1 tower mid, down bottom. PPD's getting more room to farm. He's got Serpent Wards, but not enough mana to use it. He will buy his Arcanes. He'll be able to use it soon after. How's chasing down some illusions in this top lane, and they might actually be able to get this tower. We'll see if there's a trade involved for EG here.
NEWBEE know that as long as Universe is visible elsewhere, they feel pretty confident here in the top lane, because Brew had already used his ultimate, so they don't have to worry about that too much, and without him nearby, there is going to be a Ravage in sight. So they do secure the first structure takedown of the game. It's going to go in favor of NEWBEE, but right after that, EG trade their own in the mid-tier 1.
Yeah, and that's going to be Universe's Blink Dagger as well, so they're okay with the trade, and they actually threw some wards down bottom, which put a lot of damage on that tower. Moo was able to clean them up, and PPD's here alone, but I don't expect him to make a go unless Universe gets here. His Blink Dagger's still not done. He has to go to the side chip to buy it first. Zai as well is getting closer and closer. He's sitting at 1,200. He'll probably go for a Blink Dagger.
They're going to bait him back, and PPD will be right there to hex him up if that's going to be the case. So they're trying to flank him right now. This is very nice. Oh, yeah. Right before the blink, shackles her down and says, "You're not going anywhere, Bat Lady." And they're going to go ahead and try to burst her down, but no! Moo slips through and into the woods, but they promptly jump in, catch her out, slam her down.
Mason just was in the range for that thunderclap there, and that's Universe buying his Blink Dagger as well. You could see he was patient. He didn't want to use that Ravage. Meanwhile, mid lane, they're going to try to make a go here on this tier 1 tower. He has Blink Ravage. There's a fort coming through. Brewmaster Ultimate should be online pretty soon as well. In fact, 18 seconds. Arteezy's going to push them back. How? Despite being an aggressive Bristleback, doesn't want to go too far in. But the problem here is that there's a lot of map control now for NEWBEE. They went to the jungle and they made sure they covered the ground with a lot of wards here. So EG, they have to know that something's up. They only put a few sentry wards down, not in the right position either. So they're going to make a go on this bottom tower, but they need to back up. Zai has Reincarnation, yes, and he has a Haste Rune. He will spot this out, but he should be careful. Oh, maybe not. The smoke doesn't pop here.
Universe is nearby with a Blink Ravage to help them out if it's needed, but here they go. They're making a move on Mason with the Doom. Universe might need to pull out this Ravage defensively. Throws out the Cut on the side. You see Zai of the Wraith King. There's a Ravage defensively, catches out Moo. They split to go up. Zai now with the Reincarnate is going to be hard to take down if they try to go on it, but here comes Arteezy. Static link up on Chow, the Director. Making a lead back right now. He's taking a lot of damage right now. Plus 174 for him. There goes His Majesty one time down. The split coming out from the Brewmaster as they look to engage now onto NEWBEE. NEWBEE stepping back, the tower very low. There goes the wards actually on the sidelines as they try to catch out Hao, and they do. They trap him right in, looking to burst him down, and they're also going for Zai. Zai steps back, doesn't get the heal up, and now Moo retreats back. Only one casualty thus far, that being Hao. Now Xiaowei steps back, gets CC'd up and slammed. Another big Epi flies in, PPD and the Scream! Coming out, takes down 3 for EG. Impressive comeback from NEWBEE, leaving me flabbergasted. Moo Zai blinks away right now. They want more. There goes Mason to follow, but he cannot continue the chase. And now Back from the dead, Arteezy will lose the Aegis life, and man, with a tower takedown, it's hard to say who does come out on top.
It's got to be, I mean, they get the tier 1 tower and they get a couple of kills, but they also lose the Aegis. They lose Reincarnation. I think that fight goes to NEWBEE, but just barely. Very close fight. Lots of back and forth. Tough to keep track as well. They have used the Ravage really, like you were talking about defensively. Had they had that, they would have blown everybody up. But you got to say, Banana with a huge epicenter. The Sonic Wave as well coming out from Moo on that Queen of Pain. And that's actually almost his Orchid done as well. So a very close fight. It looked like EG had it there for a moment, but back and forth we go. Roshan will respawn in 4 minutes time now. And so far, this is looking to be a good game. Arteezy finishes up his drum. He's got 1,700 gold in the bank as well. His next item, we'll see if it wants to be a BKB or maybe some more damage. The Sanj is done for the Bristleback. Maybe a Halberd next. Maybe it's on the courier already. It looks like no, it's not. But now NEWBEE want to be aggressive here on mid. They realize that everyone has no ultimates on the side of EG, and Arteezy will come in, and he'll try to defend this. Already, though, this Siege Creep doing a lot of work on this tower.
That denied.
Might get denied. It looks like he will grab it at just the last second there. Shout was coming forward, and had he got one hit off, they wouldn't have gotten the kill, but very close.
Respectable deny. They step back, and they probably will have to wait it out a bit and get some of these cooldowns. They want to make sure Zai will have that second life to work with, and it's just so rough. At level 1, it's just so much time before he can get that reincarnate back, and obviously for Universe as well. Once they have that Ravage online, it's actually very, very close. 15 more seconds to work with right there. Sanjang looking to make a rotation over, places a nice little obs ward right there, but
right next
EG
to
should have seen it, you know, with their own obs. And there we go. Universe catches him out. He's hungry for some pigeon food right now as he wants to get a hold of Sanjang, and yeah. That's the problem when you got a Skywrath Mage. Just very, very flimsy, but he does go down.
There's no point in him being there. That's so uncharacteristic of NEWBEE and just Sanshang. So, I mean, yes, you put an Observer Ward there, but like you have to understand that EG probably has vision. I mean, there's no reason not to, especially considering they're controlling Roshan, they're controlling the dire side. So Sanshang just gets caught out. Universe was Ancient's killing, I guess you could say, and just jumps in, kills him in about an instant. Speaking of Universe, he's almost got his neck, just needs the recipe, and this guy is actually, he gets so many items. We saw like a 30-minute refresher come out in the game against Liquid yesterday, and now with the mech, obviously, it's not going to be a refresher, at least this early on, but still, he's getting items that are going to help his team so much. And I feel like Hao's going to start falling off here. And Moo, yes, you can right-click as a Queen of Pain, and yes, you have right-click as a Doom, but Hao hasn't been as a big a factor as I thought he should have been early on so far.
It's going to get tricky for him as well because you got a Razor over here on the EG side, and Bristle, I would imagine, would be one of those targets you want to link up, you know, because Bristle wants to be in the mix. He wants to get those Quill stacks. He wants to get the goo off, but the problem is if you're in the mix, you're allowing someone like Arteezy to just sap up all that additional damage, and the next thing you know, he's just going to be going on a tirade with all that extra DPS. So they have to be cautious about their positioning. They did a great job in that formidable fight in the bottom lane, waiting patiently and just slamming it home with those big ultimates. But as the game progresses and EG consider moving on to getting those BKBs, that's only going to be good for so long.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is also, too, NEWBEE with Hao specifically, Warpath is going to stack up really nicely, and they want to make sure that they just take out all the damage like you talked about specifically. But also, I mean, like, really right now, it's EG waiting for Zai to hit level 11 to get his level 2 ultimate. It's waiting for Arteezy to get the first big item. It's waiting for Universe to finish that mech. Once they have those, they can be aggressive. The Smoke of Deceit gate for NEWBEE is not going to really accomplish anything unless they can turn this into a tier 2 tower. But EG, they're doing the same thing that, you know, NEWBEE were just doing. They're smoking up in the enemy jungle, so it looks like NEWBEE might have a chance here for at least a little bit of chip damage on this tier 2 tower, if not the tower in general. So.
But the thing is, if NEWBEE do show themselves, you know, a lot of them up here in the top lane, EG could just as easily and quickly trade.
No.
I think Universe, I mean, a whole new world. Just that was a misclick.
I don't know what happened there, man.
That was a Ravage.
That was an R button press for Universe. That was certainly not intended. I just heard that. I was like, no, Universe, why? Well, now for 120 seconds, you can expect EG, their game plan is thrown off a bit, I'd say, because
zoning Ravage in the jungle. Got to get those creeps down.
Yeah, I mean, he got a couple of creeps with it, I'm sure, but you know. At least, at the very least, NEWBEE doesn't know that it's gone. So NEWBEE are still like waiting for a Ravage to come out. However, if NEWBEE take a fight now, incidentally, they certainly could win. And so 100 seconds for Universe to wait and EG to be kind of patient. But the problem is Roshan's going to be up in less than a minute. So all of a sudden, you have to contest Roshan without Ravage. Oh my god, 34 seconds in fact. This is awful. Banana's going to go ahead and D-ward as well. This is really nice. I like the fact that they're making sure they have, at least, if they don't have map control of Roshan Pit, then EG doesn't have it either, so, oh man.
Hard stuff, but you know what, it's okay. It's still relatively early. They can kind of wait this one out a bit. If they have to sacrifice a tower for it, so be it. They still have a tier 1 in the bottom lane. fair amount of NEWBEE down here in the bottom lane. They might look to push in and go for it, but yeah, we got to wait out a little bit longer right here. Mason about ready to go. He's building towards that Agnum Scepter. He's already got a hold of the point booster. And look at that, Bristleback. It's going to be an S and Y, not that typical Halberd build we'd like to see, and something I typically favor for going against a Razor. But I guess Razor's picking up at BKB as well, so that can get tricky. But regardless how, he favors his move speed and a little bit of extra damage and strength.
I mean, this is okay. It's good against Arteezy, who's going to try to static link him, but he really won't be able to just get to him in time, essentially. But they have plenty of lockdown anyway, so I'm not sure if it's the best item choice here, but I think it certainly works. They will grab the tier 1 down bottom. Now fight happening top potentially. Wraith Fire Blast is going to go long range. How's going to be at the front lines? He's going to try to defend
Epi's
it.
Down!
Meanwhile, Epi was used, it looks like, and I don't know what happened there, but...
Banana getting a little bit of that universe
Listen, I saw that you pressed your Ravage. Don't worry. I'll respond in time by using my Epi.
I don't know if he misused the Blink Dagger there, but he definitely pulled out the Epi. But it's a smart thing. I mean, he knows that they also didn't see the Epi, so now EG also think that maybe Banana has his Epi available, and there's some serious mind games happening, behind the scenes that both teams don't even really know about.
Yeah, I mean, a couple mistakes here and there. That's all right. It's Dota. It happens. Maybe not at this stage too often, but it does. So Zai does have level 2 reincarnation, so they can fight a bit more often. 160 seconds rather on the cooldown. Zai's going to pick up this Invis rune. Banana is going to go ahead and burrow strike. Actually, that was on target too. They know that he's still there, but they have no follow-up. So Zai's just like, I'm going to walk away. How is in the enemy jungle? There is a Radiant or Dire Observer ward. It's going to spot out How very quickly. They might even just try to jump on him, but they realize that the rest of the squad for NEWBEE is too close by, especially Moo, who has his Orchid and 3.2k gold. Moo is starting to carry this game, and that may become a problem. They're not really going to be able to shut him down, especially with Blink, but Ravage back up now for the side of EG. There is Roshan. They have Serpent Wards up in 25 seconds, so when that's ready to go, they might make another attempt at Roshan here. The problem is there's no Observer Wards for either side at Roche Pit, so.
I'm curious to see. I mean, it's not like every game we get to see typically a Queen of Pain, and you're not going to go for something like an Agnum Scepter when the opposing team is looking to build into BKB, so maybe you look to build in a little bit extra life. She can be a little bit flimsy when you're going to be going against the likes of a heavy-hitting Ravage and everything else coming your way, so maybe potential Scotty, Necrobook is typically something that they like to do, but 8-8, it's going to be evened up right now. A matchup between NEWBEE and EG. Two Titans going at it. We've seen a little bit of flubs here and there, but look at this. EG Gaming now moving into the Roche Pit with the benefit of those wards, and it looks like it will be uncontested in the meantime. Yeah,
NEWBEE are just kind of sitting around. They don't know if this is happening. Again, there's no Observer Ward there. They might have an inkling that this is happening. They might jump over there, but NEWBEE should just stay back, and EG will get away with a free Roshan. Judge comes out. It should be Arteezy taking this Aegis again. He's going for the Agnum Scepter. BKB is already done, so How's going to run over right now. There might be a big team fight at this Roche Pit. They don't have the Serpent Wards right now for PPD. This could be dangerous. They still have Ravage, yes. They still have Ivo Storm, yes. There's the Aegis going to Arteezy. Now the Wraith Fire Blast. Mason thinking about jumping and deciding against it. They don't really want to fight How. He's pretty far at this point into Bristleback early on in this game to do so much work. We saw Mason, essentially, when he threw up his Brewmaster Ultimate, the Quill Sprays just brought him down so low. So it's going to be interesting to see when EG try to put pressure on NEWBEE. Speaking of NEWBEE, How will go ahead and deny this tier 1 tower top, which a little bit of farm going the way of EG, but not as much. They were trying to chase down Moo in the jungle as well, but won't be able to connect with that.
Bottom lane, there was a bit of a footsie happening there, and BPD eating up that Shadow Strike, but will forwardly step back, move, decides to step off the jungle and build a little bit of excess farm for himself, inherit a little more extra items, a little more extra firepower coming into the next team fight, because both these teams, it's a lot about the execution and how they want to get this done. It's going to be finicky. We saw there earlier in the bottom lane, they had a strong start. EG was forced to pull out the Ravage to be defensive, but NEWBEE waiting it out patiently, followed it up with the Epicenter and the big scream coming out from Moo, and something they don't want to be dealing with. So EG feeling a little more confident that if they built the extra farm, they see How right there. Quickly his eye blinks over, but they don't want to go on him.
That was interesting. There's 2 heroes bottom, which I guess they didn't know about, but they had no idea. If they had jumped on How there, they'd probably get that kill. They maybe have to use a lot just to get it done, but
How is a big boy, though. I mean, when you commit to him, you got to make sure you take him down quickly, because it's going to be a long time, and you're allowing a lot more time for the rest of the NEWBEE squad to kind of rotate over. And if you're using too much to try to take down How, you're not going to have that available for you in the upcoming team fight here. So
the thing is, they just feel, it feels like they're scared of How. They don't ever want to really just run at him. And I mean, Arteezy's going to just run and make sure that the Ancients aren't being stacked, but EG are just kind of being very patient. The thing is, they do have the Brewmaster Agnum Scepter now. It's been completed. Mason bringing up the rear with that item in tow. Moo down in the bottom lane looks like he's doing some nice little split pushing, but if there's a fight that happens in the mid lane, he wants to be there for it, and he's going to TP back as well. We're getting ready to go potentially. Arteezy's running forward. He has the Aegis of Immortality ready to go. Universe is ready to blink it with that Ravage. Zai as well with the Wraith Fire Blast. They are backing up, though. They don't want to take this fight just yet, it looks like. They maybe want to defend bottom instead. Again, EG just playing very passively, which is something we don't see too much of. Yeah, absolutely. So now map control becomes a bit easier for NEWBEE. I have to imagine EG will pick up one at some point in time, if not already. And there are a lot of blink daggers, though, for EG. In fact, everyone but Arteezy has one. They have a lot of mobility here. Not that NEWBEE don't. Banana specifically has really, really contributed to this game. It's really close. Specifically, there was a team wipe that could have happened down bottom. NEWBEE was getting close to losing all of their heroes, with the exception of Banana coming in, throwing up a really nice epicenter, big bro strike, and the Sonic Wave combined up with that helped them get a couple of kills and stop the aggression of NEWBEE, or EG rather. So they're going to make their way down mid yet again.
I really like the Blink Dagger pickup here on Shao 8. Now he can try to jump in. If he does have to pick up someone like Universe or even like Mason, that's going to be the prime target to go in, and those BKBs will be rendered useless under the power of NEWBEE. But here we go. Arteezy wants to bring potentially the fight to them in the mid lane. He pulls out the Eye of the Storm. There goes the Glyph. Here comes Hal. Steps forward, throws out the disgusting nasal goo onto Arteezy, trying to lower that armor little by little as we go. But the tower is going to promptly fall with the benefit of those wards as well.
Yeah, that's just an easy tower pickup there. He just picked up the Aghanim Scepter with the Eye of the Storm, and with the Serpent Wards as well, they just fight. They don't even really fight, they just bring down the tower. They don't even use any of their ultimates other than the Mass Serpent Wards and the Eye of the Storm. Not a big deal, not too much loss. They're pretty low cooldowns as well, so they really don't want to fight into that. Despite how getting his BKB, they don't want to run into the Aegis and have to deal with Arteezy twice. They'll wait out the Aegis and they'll go from there. We haven't even seen the Orchid use at all. Moo has yet to use that item once. Same with the BKB as well. So it's very interesting. A lot of the items that have been picked up for both sides have yet to be used really successfully. Aghanim Scepter ultimate from Brewmaster yet to be used. BKB from Arteezy, who's had that for like 10 or so minutes. He hasn't used it once, so
we haven't even seen a serious team engagement for probably about 15 minutes, and by now everyone has a whole new arsenal of items to work with here. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the fireworks are going to blast here in this upcoming team fight. And we have a lot of initiation from both teams. It's going to be about that execution. It's going to see who wants to pull the trigger first. Moo, with the benefit of this invis, looking to scout on up here. It looks like no sentry here on the EG side of the jungle, and just trying to get some extra information for himself and the team. Zai was going to be the closest option to get, but he promptly TP's out.
Yeah, smart play. He had an observer ward. He saw where everyone was and just said, listen, I'm out of here. I don't want to deal with this. So something important to note is that there's a lot of BKBs up on NEWBEE's side, but again, we've seen Universe so often just be able to sneak in and throw up that Ravage as quickly as possible. They don't have time to get their BKBs off, and all of a sudden Arteezy's on top of you, dealing that physical damage. They're going to head bottom right now. How has no idea this is coming. There is no observer ward, but he does have that just general map awareness. He's going to sit back at his tier 2 tower. If they do go on him, they're going to have to dive him. At least for right now, they're thinking about going, but
I think they want to get this tier 2 tower as well.
Yes.
They do have PvD's wards back up if they want to go for it, and obviously the Eye of the Storm, and just kind of rinse and repeat what happened in the mid lane. But NEWBEE already having some rotations to come. Banana, the first one to show up, and then it will be Moo to follow up. So let's see if NEWBEE want to try to defend out this tower. Already getting in a proper position, blinking to the side.
Universe ready to go with the Blink Ravage. There we go. Side flips and Rage Fire Blast. Big Ravage coming in. BKBs were pops on. Shake gets blown up. They lose another one as well. That Shao 8 now out. Pops the BKB. Primal split. Moo has to pop his own BKB on the backside. How trying to do what he can, but Moo's dead as well. Arteezy gets the double kill. They're looking for more. How gets stun up? Can they get this kill? They cut out as well. He's taking a licky, but he is so damn tanky. They're going to go back to the tower and focus it down. The tier 2 is done. Aegis is gone, so
Banana's been sitting there on the side of the woods. He was waiting it out for those BKBs to go down and maybe get an FE happening there, but the opportunity just never came, so he's been kind of parking it there on the sidelines. No opportunity to really make the jump in. And, well, we do have low death timers. You can wait it out and maybe try to make something coming from the backside if EG do want to continue this push, but they don't. They step back. They see Banana's like, I got to get the hell out of here.
That was a bit awkward. That's just kind of like...
Yeah, I was there the whole time, guys. How's it going?
You pass somebody in the hallway and you just like don't nod at them. You're just like,
where the hell did you come from?
Creeping in the corner, Banana just sitting there. So a bit funny, but I mean, he was waiting to make another big play like he did in that bottom lane engagement not too long ago.
But with those BKBs, it's you got to wait for the right time. Otherwise, you're just jumping into getting yourself into a whole big mess. So, well, unfortunately for NEWBEE, they lose another tower, and well, that's going to be one more outer tower remaining here on the side, top tier 2, and I would imagine EG pull back, wait it out a bit, maybe either decide to wait for the Roche to spawn back up and use those wards, secure the Aegis and that extra life, and then push down from above.
Yeah, so, I mean, this methodical play is actually paying off for EG. Again, Universe getting in and getting a slightly big Ravage. They didn't hit up Hao, but that's okay. They don't even need to really focus down Hao. Now, that's the key thing, is just making sure you don't target the Bristleback. Target the more important heroes. Sansheng, make sure he doesn't get his ultimate off. They killed Doom as well very quickly. Xiaowei died instantaneously. Zai, you are in trouble, my friend. Reincarnation is going to get popped here, but I think he actually will fall again. Zai's going to get Ancient Shield. Orchid and Mystic flared as well, taking a lot of damage. Might survive. No, the level death from the Orchid Soul Burn will be enough there. And Zai gets caught out, but... I don't know, he actually might even get a 2-2 tower off the back of this as well. Buyback status, I'm sure. He might have it, but I don't think he'll use it. In fact, there's only 3 in the game. That's Doom, Brewmaster, and Arteezy's Razor as well. So
yeah, this should be a very, very easy tier 2 to clean up right now. They didn't have to expend a lot of skills to even take down his Majesty. So nice swift pickup for them. Something they definitely needed. Score now 9 and 11. Advantage for EG. If we take him up to look over the gold graph, it's looking a little excited right here as it dipped all the way back down towards EG's favor, but nothing too serious as of yet. About 1,500 gold lead for them.
I mean, this is very, very close for a 34-minute game. The experience lead is a bit bigger, but again, still very close. 5,000 for EG. One bad team fight could really throw NEWBEE into the lead if EG maybe has a bad initiation, but they've been playing it very solid as things have moved along here. The problem is Brewmaster, his ultimate's going to start waning very soon. Yes, it's still excellent right now, but the BKBs are actually providing a lot. However, Moog gets just right-click down. Arteezy's done a very nice job in the last couple of engagements, just static linking and making sure people have no damage, or he just deals a ton of damage himself. So,
with that plate mill grab, he's looking to tank up much further. He wants to be in the mix. He wants to be able to lay out the damage as much as possible, get that static link, just secure it in, get the heavy duration happening, and, well, it's worked for them thus far. And for NEWBEE, you know, a lot of patient play, but sometimes patience doesn't always work out for you, as we saw there in the bottom lane. So we'll see if we're going to get a lot more patience here from both sides. As the Roche is back up here, PPD does have the wards if he wants to use it, but he might be feeling a little pressure from some of his lanes. They might have to push out mid a little bit further before they have the opportunity to go into the pit.
Yeah, it looks like that's what they want to do. They want to make sure that mid's just pushed out across the river here. But the problem is NEWBEE's going to head into the enemy jungle, and if they don't see EG in the jungle, they're going to make their way down to the Roche pit or towards the Ancient Stack. So Hao is here alone, and this is actually the only time that if you were looking for a gank, they'd be able to find him and pick him off. He's too tanky otherwise, and he would have too much help. So NEWBEE are still roaming around essentially with Xiaowei here, with Sansheng as well. Still trying to see if EG are going to go into the pit. There's no Observer Ward for NEWBEE, but they have one for EG here on the opposite side of the river, which is nice. It's going to give them a lot of vision. They're going to jump into the Roshan pit, and we'll see if they can take this down quickly and go up the Drunken Haze. And they should have the right click just with these heroes alone. And NEWBEE are thinking about making a go here.
Finicky situation if you want to try to jump into this, because you're always jumping into those wards. That damn Shadow Shaman on the dire side just makes it so rough to try to contest any sort of Roche, but here we go, the Director leaning out the front. He does have that blink, and they're kind of testing it out. Hao's the one person who can kind of move in there and scout things out as well. Hao might be jumped on right now. They draw the damage, and that's the Island Storm. Xiaowei immediately CC'd as they jump in. There goes the blast, but it's not going to be enough. The Director will fall. Doom down. As now they look to push on for Banana, thrown right up into the air. Now they turn their attention over here onto Hao. Hao will end up being bursted down. He can't take anyone with him. 2-0 right now. EG coming out on top. Banana, time to split as he does force staff forward. But look at this. They are on the hunt, and if they can, they will go ahead and push down this mid lane and just take what they can. Formidable job there from EG, securing the Roche and a couple of pickoffs.
Yeah, that was really poorly executed by Xiaowei. He doomed up Zai, who is, by the way, a Wraith King, a one-button hero, and his reincarnation still went. He used his reincarnation. Xiaowei didn't get his BKB popped off in time. Universe hit a pretty big Ravage, and Hao got focused down very quickly as well. So Moo just immediately decided to get out of there, split push down bottom, which was a smart play. Very smart decision coming out from Moo, but Mason, I think, knows he's there. He was making his way over there, but decided not to try and fight Moo. He'd probably just kill him. So, at the very least, NEWBEE don't lose any towers or any buildings off the back end of that. They lose the Aegis, obviously. They lose 2 heroes, and they give EG a bigger lead, but it's not super critical just yet. NEWBEE are still definitely in this. Arteezy has an Assault Cuirass now. That is a lot of armor reduction and damage coming through.
Yeah, and it works on the towers as well.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty great.
With the benefit of a PPD and anything, I mean, it's safe to say that if EG come out on top in another big team fight and they have the opportunity, they could easily come knocking at the NEWBEE door and take down their first set of racks.
Absolutely. So NEWBEE, they might try to make something happen here in the next couple of moments. They have no smokes with seats purchased up yet. Not that I can see anyway. Banana has been pretty decent with his ultimates, but in that last fight, it didn't really do much there. He did channel it. I'm not sure if he even got it off, but he's got a blink, he's got Force Staff, he's got that utility. So many Sand Kings really like having Blink and Force, so no surprise that he picks it up. Looks like he's going for BKB next. Universe has been on point with his Ravages. He's going for a Refresher, no surprise there, and he gets the cheese as well. In fact, he's actually getting rather close to the Refresher. He has enough money for that Oblivion Staff outright if he wants to buy it. And then, of course, the recipe's 1,800 gold, so now it's becoming kind of dangerous here. I think if EG farm a buyback and then they go for a push, they can maybe clear out a tier 3 tower, or they can just go top and look for that tier 2. But again, NEWBEE are doing such a good job of split pushing and making sure that EG have to cover all of their bases.
Even NEWBEE do have a fair amount of defenses in their own right. We got 3 heroes with the BKB to kind of deal with the incoming potential double Ravage their way. With the reasonable time left, 2 of them on 8 seconds, 1 more on 10 seconds, so it's going to be okay. But they have the initial jump in happening here on the bottom lane. Mason eats up the Doom and the Scream coming out from Moo, and they make quick work of him. They take down the Panda Man. Make it real easy there for NEWBEE to try to get something back for themselves. 10-13, your new score, and, Mason just a little too far out on his own.
And Arteezy, while that's happening, he's pushing down mid lane. It's going to maybe force out a rotation, at least from Moo back to the base. So Aegis is going to be reclaimed in 3 minutes. They still have a lot of time to work with here. And it's a loss. Yeah, they did lose Mason, obviously, but still, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Go patient play happening out right now from Universe. I mean, they might just opt instead to just wait it all out until he does get a hold of that Refresher. That might be the pinnacle point for them to really take it to NEWBEE. And if they don't see it coming, it's going to be very, very devastating for them. And PPD, Captain, Van Dam pulls out the smoke for himself here. So look for them to try to gather up and try to go on the aggression.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is their time with the Aegis up and ready to go. They realize that maybe Sonic Wave's still down for a bit of time, as well as the Doom. They have some time, but Arteezy walking around the corner. This is going to be bad. They might even Ancient Seal him. No, Arteezy, he knows something's up. He's waiting here. He might even pop his eye to Storm. BKB not used. Let's declare Arteezy low, but he's got the Aegis of Immortality. It was debate all along. Moo's going to get blown up as well as Banana. The 4-step away. They decide to forego their chase on Moo. Try to grab Banana here. He's got Burrow Strike in just a couple of seconds. He might actually get out of here alive. Ravage was used, but only for San Shang. Actually, not that bad of a trade. Arteezy didn't lose the Aegis, but still, that Ravage on cooldown for a bit.
Now, Mod, I am not a big Brewmaster player myself, but a Manta style picked up.
Something you don't see too often, I gotta say.
Yeah, this is something I've seen a fair amount of brews in my day, but a Manta style. I mean, I got some serious split action coming out from Mason.
I'm not really sure. I think maybe just to avoid the Orchid, I think is the most important thing.
Yeah.
If you get doomed, then that's fine. But if you Manta out of the Orchid, then you're good to go. So it makes the most sense. But you could argue that you could just go a Lincoln Sphere and avoid at least one or the other, the Doom or the Orchid. But he just wants to have that option to just be able to split out of the, I guess, the Orchid.
Don't get me wrong, Manta's a great option. It still adds a lot than just aside from the split itself. You're getting the extra bit of stats from all over the place. The move speed even's there, you know. It's a very nice formidable item to have, but...
Get more right click for a Brewmaster, I'll take it, why not? Sure.
It's hard to say it's not intriguing. So, one more minute left on the stages before it is reclaimed. We'll see if EG try to go ahead and move forward and take a fight here as, well, it's getting really close here for Universe. He's got the quarterstaff and Sage's Mask complete right now. I think he could actually... Nope, he's got
very close.
Very, very close to being able to get that refresher complete. Uh-oh. Bottom lane, there goes the Sonic Wave. They're trying to take down PPD, but they can't quite get it done. Actually, they do. PPD falls, and now Moo on the retreat. Can they end up catching up? There's a long-range Gush to catch him out. Should be able to blink forward, but Mason jumps in, and there goes the blink. But the Doom flies back right on Mason. Zhao Wait, though, quickly pulls back with no BKB. Zai bursted down with the big epicenter, but he still has the reincarnate and will be able to use it. Meanwhile, up above, you can see Arteezy takes down the Birdman, and now they retreat back, going for move once again. Quickly retreats into the woods right there. Now Zai will fall for the second time and drops the gem. Universe, no second Ravage to work with in the meantime, but here we go. Eye of the Storm and the split to come. Banana trying to retreat back. BKB and does blink up and above, but he's on the hunt right now. Universe trying to take him on a magic carpet ride. There goes the gush, but he does dodge it. Burrow strike, force staff forward. Even a sandstorm, if you will, but meanwhile, down and below, you can still see Arteezy and Mason trying to push out the lane and divert their attention elsewhere.
Yeah, they need to leave now. They should have left as soon as PPD got initiated on. They had no Ravage. There was no way really to fight. Now they're in a really bad position. Arteezy, no Aegis. He does have that nice little Reaver. They might fight now. There's the Ravage going in. Xiaowei going to lose all of his damage as well. It's statically going. There's going to be the BKB. How much is it really going to do? Xiaowei is going to fall. Moves slowed up. He's going to blink to the high ground. Nice turnaround. Great Ravage from Universe. Sahil O'Neal does it again, but still only one kill. They really want move, but they really can't lock him down. And this is the problem. Yes, Mason did go for the Manta style, and it's really good up against the Orc Malevolence, but if he picks up the Scythe buys, then you can actually lock down that Queen of Pain. Wouldn't maybe be the best choice of items in this situation, but I feel like it would have been better than maybe getting the Manta. So Arteezy does pick up the heart. It's going to be really hard to really just bring him down now.
He's
So
a big boy now.
Absolutely.
Formidable 3.5k life. Very nice.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. The green ball that we've all been waiting for the Watermelon Man. Refresher. Now we're going to see if he can go ahead and bring in a whole new world as he blasts out 2 Ravages back to back. Very nice things to have. And while the BKBs are still there for some of the newbie members, they're slowly begin to dwindle down as far as duration. We even saw right there Xiaowei pop a BKB right at the end. It was a bit questionable there. Should have kind of forfeited over just his own life and saved the BKB, but, well, he's about to come right back into life here, and EG rotate up to the top lane. PPD does have a hold of those wards, so if they want to try to push down and take a hold of tier 2 tower, they could probably do so.
There's an Aghanim Scepter on PPD. That's huge, actually. That amount of damage that he's going to be pumping out with the Serpent Wards is ridiculous. With Eye of the Storm on top of it, if they're pushing to the base, they can just kind of slow siege it. But here's the problem for EG. They might get pincered in. NEWBEE looking for a Smoke of Deceit gank. Hao and Moo leading the way. Moo's going to blink further. And Zai has Reincarnation, but he doesn't want to get caught out, so he blinks away immediately. They do have some heroes on the backside. Mason can blink out as well if they get caught out of position. Hao is very speedy. He has the Sanjin Yasha. They ping. They see them there. Moo's going to jump with the Shiva's Guard. Orchid, nice blink coming out from Zai. They will avoid any sort of potential engagement. They actually smoke themselves. And that was very, very close.
They got to be very happy with that. They have just avoided some incoming danger. They knew that they'd see a lot of newbie people missing. They're like, this is feeling a little bit shady right now, so let's go ahead and just hightail it out of here. They do so, which is a smart move to make considering they didn't have Universe or Arteezy there to back them up. But now they move on forward. Still, NEWBEE didn't expend too much to try to make that jump happen here, but let's see if they want to try to defend out anything coming their way down this mid lane.
The smoke is still up and ready to go for EG. Universe, his Ravage is up in 13. He has the Refresher as well, but there's also the Doom Refresher that we have to talk about. NEWBEE sitting on the high ground. Moo ready to go. His Shiva's Guard, his Orchid. How is going to tank this creep wave? Now, EG probably know that something's up here. They probably know that there's a heroes around this area. How is playing very far up right now, and everyone from EG will back away. And they'll make sure that they maybe even get to Roshan, as it just respawned not too long ago. Again, they have Serpent Wards, but this might be dangerous. Like, the Brewmaster Illusions will be nice to just fall around and make sure they have some vision of these newbie members. And yeah, they will head right into the Roshan pit again. Aghanim Scepter is up for PPD, so the damage that these wards do is pretty ridiculous. And it's going to be yet another Aegis and Cheese coming out for EG. We'll see who takes it here, who's got room.
Easy Roshan pickoffs. We saw what happened last time NEWBEE even considered going for a contention. They lost 2 heroes, and it was very, very rough. Now EG, with the confidence of this extra life, they can consider moving on forward here. They might obviously wait for the duration of the wards to come right back, but in this next upcoming team fight, they'll have the benefit of that double ult coming out from the Tidehunter, which makes things very, very interesting to see how NEWBEE are going to try to defend.
Yeah, and I gotta say, this is a really big game. Like, both teams sitting at 3-3 right now. NEWBEE lost 3 in a row. EG kind of on tilt as well after losing to Invictus Gaming not too long ago. So a win here for either side would be absolutely fantastic, and both teams are laying it out on the line. So NEWBEE, How feels like he's starting to drop off. He really hasn't had that big of an impact in this game. We talked about it earlier. He's got 346 CS, but he's not really doing much with that. He's sitting on an SNY, a BKB, and an Assault Cuirass, which is fine, but Arteezy is going to be difficult to deal with. If he gets a full static link off, he's got the Assault Cuirass, he's got Eye of the Storm as well. Now he has an Aegis, and he's getting close to 6-slotted territory. If he gets BOTs and then another item, he's there. So EG are looking pretty solid. Universe has got his Refresher Orb, and it's I think their time to fight right now.
Yeah, the other thing, and what was said in the draft, is for Zai, picking up the likes of this Wraith King. He's getting to that point, man. He's got that high ceiling to work with, and he's got a Maelstrom. He's looking to build up a little bit further. He could become a formidable core hero, and Zai loves his farming support. So the longer this game goes, they have the benefit of this Wraith King DPS to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. The one problem right now is there's maybe some potential aggression coming up from NEWBEE. Arteezy's got to walk down. He's got no TP, so... But I think this is their time to go. The problem is they are getting split pushed out too by How in this top lane here using his close sprays. Mid lane has been pushed in by Arteezy pretty significantly, and then EG will work on bottom themselves. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Zai with a Maelstrom, pretty surprising. He's also got a cheese as well. So his second life, when he gets up with a reincarnation, he can pop it instantaneously and hopefully survive a bit longer. Now, Xiao getting caught out way too far up. Hex, this is going to work as well. The gush. Xiao falls very quickly, and now buyback status. He doesn't have it. That's huge. There are no dooms available. He actually had that refresher open and was waiting to use it. He's down for 60 seconds. It's EG's time to push into the base here. This is going to be big. They're going to go straight up to the high ground. Arteezy going in. Eye of the Storm pressuring top lane now. PPD Hex up on Sansheng. Great Fire Blast is about to fly as well. Does he have buyback? No, too dead. They have to make a decision as where to go next. How? He's going to be on the front line here. If they bring him down, it's going to be huge. He will have buyback, but now the status is going through. How? Taking even a damage here. There's going to be the right click. The Thunderclap as well. Move. Jumping at the Orchid on Arteezy. He has the Aegis, mind you, to blink away. The tier 3 tower getting just absolutely beaten down. How? Trying to do what he can, but he can't really do much. The melee racks. EG finally taking it to the base and maybe even getting a set of racks out of this.
That was a very, very unfortunate pick off on the director there in the mid lane, but I guess as they say, the show must go on, and EG just take it to him in the mid lane right there. Banana waiting way in the back, seeming to get a, oh, nope. Trying to see if they can get some sort of epicenter off, but you still have to consider this Tidehunter. He's not only got one, but two Ravages to work with if a team fight comes in. Oh, world off the market, there we go! A whole new world Ravage, 1 and 2 to fly out, catches one, How falls back to back, and now a buyback coming out. Let's see if they can defend, because this might be the end of the road for him if they don't survive. How? Looking to make a second fight happen. Zai have to go toe-to-toe. He's got a second life to work with, and the cheese, which he pops right there. Arteezy's been doomed out, but the Ice Storm is already out right now. Xiao jumps in, but he's eating so much damage. The mech's not going to be able to help him. Arteezy is now godlike right now, pushing past behind the enemy racks, throws out into a double kill for said Arteezy. Sansheng not going to be able to get in, and well, Xiao calls GG. That's the end of the road for NEWBEE, and this one is they're going to have to fall 4-game loss streak for them, and EG finally get another win under them belt.
That was just a vast improvement from what we saw yesterday in that Liquid game. They played so well. They picked a lineup that really worked for them. And against the aggression that NEWBEE had early on in the game, they were able to just face it all, stare it down, and just say, listen, we're going to play our patient game and take it to them. I got to say, a fantastic game coming up from both sides, but EG, Arteezy godlike at the end of that game. He's really found a new hero in that Razor. He's done so well this tournament with it.